Why men marry some women and not others. One of the most common questions of women is why won't he commit? Many women are heartbroken when, after months or even years with a man, he looks afraid to take the next step. Commitment, moving in together, engagement. Dare I say it? Marriage. They receive one of many usual replies when they have the talk and ask about the future with their man. He isn't ready. He either needs space or needs time. He needs to get his profession, money, and life in order. He loves you, but he's not sure what he wants, despite the fact that you've been together for years. And by the way, he has no idea when he'll figure it out. Can you wait another few years, honey? Well, I'm kidding, sort of. But honestly, if you've ever worried over a man you genuinely and passionately loved because he wouldn't make a move to commit when you were ready, like yesterday, this will open your eyes, because I'm about to reveal the characteristics that make a man desire to marry you. Before I begin the big revelation, I'd want to provide some context. This information is not made up by me. It's not even my own viewpoint, although I do agree with it. It comes from remarkable research undertaken by a man named John Malloy around 15 years ago. Despite the fact that over 2 decades have gone, this material will never be out of date. It's ageless and global. Researchers question over 1,000 couples from around the United States, but not just any couple, only those departing marriage license agencies, having just picked up their marriage licenses days or hours before their wedding. They divided the men and women and asked them a number of questions, including, what made you want to marry this person? So here's what they found. First impressions are important. Men are drawn to the physical, but marry for the character. Newly engaged men describe their prospective spouses as elegant, optimistic, lively, enthusiastic, and upbeat. While 68% provided a physical description of their fiancé, just 20% stated that what drew them in was how stunning and sexy their fiancé was. Even if the women in question were exceptionally attractive, more than 60% described their personality. Therefore, be positive. All wives are trophy wives. Men marry women they like and want to flaunt, but not for their physical appearance. Wearing decently communicates, I am marriage material. Guys marry women they see as situational virgins who may move freely in their world. To put it another way, don't dress like a harlot. Seductive clothing is interpreted by men as an invitation to have sex. Most men judge within the first 10 minutes of meeting a woman whether she is ideal for marriage or simply a casual fling. More than 80% of men stated or boasted that their fiancé was the type of lady they would be happy to introduce to friends and family. More than 70% of men stated they recognized their prospective wife was a lovely girl the moment they met her. Just 7 of the 2,000 men polled stated their fiancé was dressed sexily when they first met. If you want to marry a man who is more attractive than you, choose a really handsome man since he will lay less importance on appearance. Women regard their physical appearance as a natural gift equal to or superior to intelligence and skills. In contrast, 67% of very good-looking men regard their appearance as a minor advantage, preferring to be clever, wealthy, or skilled. Ladies, if you want to catch a handsome man, just do this. Approach him. Extremely attractive men don't make advances at women because they don't have to. Let him put you on a pedestal. Don't treat him any differently than you would another man, simply because he's attractive. Let him see your abilities and accomplishments. Extremely attractive men frequently marry women who have attributes they lack, such as education, professional competence, social position, and ambition. Put demands on him. Encourage him to return to school or seek a better career. Making a good impression on his family is almost as crucial as making a good impression on him. 5% of participants claimed their relatives had persuaded them that the woman was exceptional, and 30% indicated their positive family view had affected them. What kind of women get married? Women who have a lot of female friends are more likely to marry than women who have a lot of male friends. Men do not make an effort to introduce their female friends to other guys. If you reach the age of 30 and wish to marry, you must prioritize finding a husband. As your friends begin to marry, they are less likely to maintain an active social life with you. Don't be the last person to get off the bus. Women who marry, especially those with high-powered occupations, make marriage a priority that they strive hard to achieve. The more unmarried men and women you work with, the more likely you are to marry. If you work in an industry with few eligible guys, for example, the fashion business, where the majority of male colleagues are homosexual, or if you have other disadvantages, you will need to work harder outside of work to overcome them. It's unfair, yet accept it. Women who have unreasonable expectations are more likely to remain unmarried. These expectations are frequently imposed by others who believe that the guys she brings home aren't good enough for her. Giving men a second chance. 20% of brides stated they didn't like their husbands when they met them for the first time. Men who are self-assured are drawn to successful, self-assured, and talented women. Women who waste their time with stringers or guys who are uninterested in them ruin their marriage prospects. Women who married refer to the guys who broke up with them as losers. Women who do not marry frequently make men who do not reciprocate their affections the center of their existence, and nevertheless talk positively of them. Don't date married or homosexual men. Women who live with their parents are less likely to marry. Being slim attracts more guys, improving your chances of marrying. Women who make an effort to appear their best are more likely to marry than those who do not. Men, on the other hand, regard women who are busy and don't spend all of their time primping to be more attractive. Women who make an effort to seek out the company of single guys are more likely to marry. Speaking of marriage, men who have conversations about marriage are more likely to propose. If you want to talk about marriage, you'll have to bring it up because many men never do. 73% of married women claim they place pressure on their boyfriend to propose. If a woman believes that marriage is necessary for her happiness, she is more likely to marry. If a man believes that marriage is necessary for a woman's happiness, he is more likely to propose. When a man who has been dating a woman for months claims he hasn't considered marriage, he is most likely being honest. These are not things that men consider. 1/3 of husbands who had said no at first had forgotten that they did so. 2/3 remembered, but most believed it was insignificant. When told that their spouses were unhappy, the men frequently said, "What did she expect me to do? Lie to her?" More than 90% of men who said they weren't ready believed the response was a truth, not a rejection. Maybe it's time for you to think about it, is the ideal response. According to statistics, this is one of the most encouraging responses a woman can receive. Many of these men proposed within 4 months. Guys don't pick up on subtle indications, so a woman must mention marriage directly and ask follow-up questions to ensure he understands. When a man says he isn't ready, it doesn't always imply he will never marry. Frequently, this is due to a lack of money. Guys seldom respond favorably when challenged. When given the option of marry me or get lost, more than half of men said they choose to get lost. More than half of men say they let a woman leave when she walks out. Instead, return to the subject later. Tell him, "I love you, but I need marriage." Don't let them off the hook. "How could you do this to me? You hurt me. I'm hurt because I love you." Well, this is how you get your dream man to get proposed and marry you. Hope this video helped. Thanks for watching.